Hello and welcome to a very special live Ideal Directories webinar. I'm Justin, one of the co-founders here at Ideal Directories, and today we're talking about sales, specifically sales techniques, specific to selling directory listings to small businesses. So if you're here today, you're either an active client who has a local business directory website with us, or you're thinking about starting one, you're curious about the sales process, how you're going to bring clients on board. But either way, I love talking about sales techniques, and we've got 6 unique approaches that have been tried and tested by many of our resellers, and we are ready to share them with you today. Now, based on the number of people who have registered, we should have a pretty good sized crowd today, which means that we should have a good number of questions. So I'd like to invite you all to test out the questioning system. You should see an option to submit a question, and I'll ask you just to let me know your city and state, that you can hear and see me so that we are all on the same page here. I'm going to attempt to pull that up right now. How do I see who is here? Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. All right, good sized crowd. All right, awesome. Hello, everybody. Wow, okay. We got a lot of states being represented here. Chi-Town, Virginia Beach, Treasure Coast, Austin, Texas, Houston, hey, Ty. All right, looking good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. As you continue to do that, I am also going to launch a poll, which will help me understand a little bit more about you so we can focus on the things that matter to you most. So I am curious if you are currently running a business directory website today. There are 3 answers that you can input. One would be yes. The other would be not yet. And the other one would be if you're really lost. Couple smart Alex there. All right, cool. Well, I was actually anticipating a lot of people chiming in with that. So I've prepared actually the next slide just to go over that, because look, here's the deal, right? Whether or not you answered that third option in the poll, there's probably some of you who are not yet on board with us, which is the majority at this point, who are asking themselves, what exactly is a business directory website? So why don't we go ahead and actually spend a minute defining that. Let me make sure that my screen is, so can you all, I just want to make sure you can see my screen. Yeah, you should be able to. It should be, you should see what is a business directory and coupon website. Yeah, okay, good. All right, if things get lost, by the way, if what I'm saying is not in line with what you're seeing, just yell. Don't yell into your computer, that would be useless, but just type a note and I'll hopefully see it. All right, so let's start by defining what a local business directory website is. Ultimately, it's a great way to support local businesses, to help local shoppers find relevant information and to make money online. It's a location-based site that features local businesses, coupons, promotions, events, reviews, and more, helping consumers find out more about their local area and helping businesses attract more local consumers. That's it. It's very simple. We have a lot of folks come to us who used to be involved in advertising sales or yellow book sales. This is local advertising, but in a fun, mobile-friendly, on-the-go form. Matter of fact, that makes me want to learn a little bit more about you. I'm launching another poll, okay? Today's poll day. And I've put together this one actually because I'm curious what kind of sales experience you're bringing to the table. So for those of you who are already on board, you'll have kind of a head start because you'll be able to, answer the third option here, but I'm curious to know if you guys come here with little to no sales experience, a moderate or decent amount of sales experience, or sales experience specific to this, which would be some sort of advertising sales experience. So go ahead and let us know about that. This is really more for my own knowledge, because I like to make sure that when we do these sessions, we're talking appropriately to whoever is actually in attendance. So thank you for doing that. More people are still signing on right now. So folks, you'll see a couple polls up there. You're welcome to participate in that. Thank you very much. So the majority of you folks have a lot of sales experience, but not necessarily advertising experience. So what we're going to go through today is going to really help with that. All right, cool. That is very, very helpful to me. Okay, so just to recap what we just said, launching a business directory and coupon website is a great way to help shoppers find deals at businesses nearby while giving local business owners extra exposure. Now, this extra exposure comes in the form of a business listing. So, what is a business listing exactly? A business listing is a simple, attractive, one-page overview of a business that features all of their most important information. It tells visitors the essentials in a way that's easy to look at and understand, and is neatly and intelligently organized. An effective business listing will be nicely designed, easy to view, mobile optimized, and will put the business in the best light possible. So all you have to do when you're running a site like this is to sell those listings to local businesses. As owner and operator of a business directory and coupon website, your main goal is to sell as many of these listings as possible to businesses in your area. So after seeing hundreds upon hundreds of local business directory sites get launched in all different size markets across the US, across Canada, and abroad, we discovered that the key to running a successful directory website is being proactive with sales. So whether you're selling listings yourself or managing a team of sales reps, we've put together 6 techniques that you can use to become a sales superstar and sell more listings on your directory website. So without any further ado, let us look at number 1. The first of our 6 reasons is what we call the show and sell technique. This is by far one of the most popular methods of selling directory listings to local businesses. The show and sell technique consists of creating listings for potential advertisers on your website first, and then presenting it to them either in person, via email, or over the phone. This allows a business owner to see exactly what their listing will look like before they pay for it. Seeing what their listing can look like helps explain exactly what they are getting and the value you are providing. While this method does require you to invest a little bit of time creating the listing first, the payoff can be big. Think about it. When you've purchased something, if you're actually able to see and experience it firsthand, it makes for a much easier buying decision. And that's what this is based around. We recommend populating the listing with as much available information as you can find, including a company logo, photos of the business, company description, contact information, any and all positive reviews you can find about the business, social media links, menus, videos, and more. The more complete the listing is, as I skip around here, the more complete the listing is, ultimately the better it's going to look, the more attractive it's going to be, the more appealing it will be. You can normally find most of this information by visiting the business's website, looking at their social media. I usually say that it'll take you like 5 to 7 minutes on average to create a listing with this information on it. But in my opinion, it's time very well spent especially when you consider this is work you do one time and then collect revenue monthly for. Moving on to number 2, the second sales technique in discussion today. Leverage the competition. This can be an extremely effective sales tactic. Rather than creating a listing for a particular business, show them competitors in the same industry who are currently featured on your directory website. For example, start by creating listings for a couple of the most popular restaurants in your area. Then show these to other restaurant owners in your town. Seeing their competition on your website will make them feel like they're missing out by not being on there with them. Explain that each day that passes that they don't advertise on your site is another day that they are losing leads and potential market share to their competition. It's very compelling. And here's a tip. Add at least 1 or 2 businesses for each category on your website that you can show off to other businesses in that industry. Focus on well-known businesses that their peers will easily recognize and that will build your credibility. The goal is to show potential advertisers that the most successful businesses in their industry are already benefiting from being on your directory website and that they should be on there too. One interesting thing about small business owners is they generally don't like to know that their competition is getting eyeballs and exposure that they are not. So that's why this is such an effective sales technique. The next technique is kind of the opposite of competition, but it's still really fun. And it's offering exclusivity or limiting availability. Offering exclusivity or limiting availability can be a very successful sales technique when executed correctly. With this technique, you can offer certain businesses to be the exclusive advertiser within their industry or limit availability so that there is only a certain number of spots available for each category. We call this limited inventory for folks outside of the advertising sales industry, even those within sales and sales advertising. Limited inventory is powerful. So for example, you might offer a funeral home the option to be the only funeral home on your site, or maybe a plumber to be one of only 5 plumbers featured on your site. While this technique usually results in fewer total listings on your site, you can only charge more per listing, and it requires you to sell fewer listings to be profitable. And here's an idea for you. Work the concept of exclusivity into your marketing or into your tagline, into the name of your directory website. So like if you're creating a tagline, you could say the best of this area or the finest in this area, best of your city, city's top 100 businesses. Promote the fact that you only feature a limited number of businesses for each category on your site. Technique number 4, bundling other products and services. So if you currently offer other business or marketing services such as web design, print advertising, social media marketing, email marketing, SEO, consider bundling those services with a listing on your business directory website. One of the biggest benefits of bundling is that the products and services you offer are normally cheaper when purchased together rather than individually. This allows you to increase the value of a directory listing while charging more and still appeal to businesses who are tight on cash or looking for a buy that's really worth the money. Here's an example for you. If you're, let's say, a web designer, okay, you can include a free single-page website with any premium listing on your site. This increases the value of the listing and offers you the opportunity to sell the business a complete website down the road. Another idea is offering to promote their business on social media or in an email blast when they purchase a premium listing on your directory. We offer you the ability to add custom features to any of your plans so that you can do exactly this, and you can easily spell it out for your clients when they're signing up for a listing. It's very helpful. You can word those features however you'd like. Number 5, this is a tried and true technique, offering a discount. So offering a price discount can be a very powerful sales tactic. And there are several ways that you can offer a discount. One popular way is to discount the price if a business pays for a year upfront. Many times, a directory will discount the annual payment option anywhere from 20 to 40% to encourage the business to sign up for a year rather than paying month to month. Yearly signups benefit everybody. It puts more money in your pocket sooner. It saves your client money. It saves them a monthly recurring fee, which can get annoying for some folks. And it also makes it easier to do your accounting for the purposes of commissions that you might pay out to your salespeople. It's super easy to pay a one-time substantial commission to a commission sales rep when they're closing larger ticket deals. And for a typical small business owner, lots of our clients have listing prices between the $50 and $100 per month range, which would make the yearly price somewhere around $500 to $1,000, somewhere in that range. It's not a lot of money to ask a small business owner to put on a credit card. It's not an absurd ask by any means. Now, you can also use coupon codes to offer discounts. With Ideal Directories, you can create custom coupon codes that can be applied to an individual listing during the checkout process. For example, maybe you want to offer a 10% off coupon code for any business that's a member of, say, the local Chamber of Commerce, or offer 50% off for the first 50 advertisers on your site, or even a seasonal coupon code that is only available during certain parts of the year. Lots of people capitalize on holidays. You see this a lot in e-commerce. Just recently, Labor Day. You see, Labor Day savings, a Labor 20 and you save 20%, things like that. But either way, the choice is yours. Get creative, and the best advice I can say is to get aggressive with your couponing. The last technique we're discussing here today is giving away free listings. So while this may sound a little counterintuitive for a way to sell directory listings, there's actually pretty good logic to this technique. So giving away free listings not only helps you populate your site quickly, but it also helps you establish relationships, build trust with advertisers, and ultimately opens the door to upselling the business on a more expensive plan. My suggestion to you on this is start by creating a free basic listing for a business and then contact them to confirm that their information is correct. Assure them that the listing, as it is now, is completely free and requires no payment. But you can use this opportunity to offer them the option to upgrade to a premium listing with more features and better exposure on your site. Here's a tip on this one. Limit your free listings to a short period of time, like 3 to 6 months. Explain that you will give them a listing for free and that you would like to revisit them again in a few months to talk about other advertising options. All right, so let's do a little bit of a recap now. We discussed 6 powerful techniques to be proactive with selling business directory listings. The show and sell technique, leveraging the competition, offering exclusivity or limiting availability, bundling with other products and services, offering a discount, and giving away free listings. And look, regardless of which sales technique you prefer to utilize, selling business listings on your business directory and coupon website can be fun and it can be rewarding. And don't limit yourself to just one. Lots of people think I just gotta choose one of these. Oftentimes, a combination of sales techniques can be extremely effective. Ideal Directories makes it simple and fast to utilize any of these above techniques. Just my one piece of advice would be commit to a plan and then make a success of it. If you've got a plan in place, it's logical, you have the pieces to actually put it into place, then start selling and make a success of it right away. All right, so in the interest of leaving time for questions, I've tried to keep the presentation part of this short. So now is the time for you to write in with your questions or thoughts you have. I'm going to go through them. I see some of you have been submitting some questions. I'm going to start from the top and try to address them here for you. Okay. Oh, we got some Long Island folks on here. Very cool. All right, so let's see what we got here. Someone's asking, if you only want 5 plumbers, for example, how do you prevent number 6 from signing themselves up? So this is more of a long-term issue. Frank, good question. This is more of a long-term issue. In the beginning, you're being proactive with sales, meaning you are contacting these plumbers and asking them to sign up with you. So it's going to be a little bit unusual for people to come to you and self-sign up in the very, very beginning when you're first getting this off the ground. Over time, could that happen? Yeah. If it does happen, well, you could always refund them the money, or work something out with them. Maybe you can sell them on a banner advertising campaign, convert those funds to where you're just doing banner ads. Or maybe they fit into a different category and you can push them into a different category. Okay. Next question is, if you, oh, where is it? Oh my gosh, you guys are really pummeling me with questions right now. They keep jumping on my screen. Keep it going. I'm not complaining. Okay. Frank, another question from Frank. If you pre-build a listing to include elements only available to the middle or high-end option, I'm assuming you mean plans here, and they can only afford one of the lower options, what happens to the excess listing assets? Are they saved on the server for later access if they move up a level, or are they thrown out? Great question, Frank. So what Frank's asking is, sounds like he's got 3 plans available on his site. Let's call it small, medium, and large, okay? Basic, featured, premium. And the pre-built listings on the premium plan, which we always recommend, by the way, when you're building out these listings for free to begin with for a client to do show and sell, put it on the fanciest plan. It's got all the bells and whistles. When they go to sign up, if they choose one of the other plans without some of the features that you put on the premium plan for them, we don't delete that data. We store it for you. So yes, just as you said, if they were to then upgrade later back to the premium plan, the information they had will be there and ready for you. Frank, more questions. What commission rate would you suggest for a dedicated directory salesperson? So this depends on if you're going to pay them any sort of, flat fee in addition to commission. If it's going to be commission only, you have to think about what a decent sales representative would require or need to make in your market for it to make sense for them. Generally speaking, usually you can do between 20 and 50% of the yearly fee to make it incentivizing for a salesperson to sell listings and earn commission only. You don't want to give too much of the pie away, but certainly you'd be able to afford at least half of it if you have your pricing right. And then Frank asked another question, can free listings be set to turn off at the end of the trial period? We don't offer trial periods like that. It's best that you really communicate with the client one-on-one. What may happen is that you set some up with a free listing and you said, okay, in 3 months it's going to expire. And you just can't get around to calling them, or they're unavailable on vacation, and you miss them and they miss you, and it's a game of back and forth. You kind of don't want that to just come offline automatically. You want to get some sort of confirmation. You want to make a conscious decision to take any listing offline. Having it done automatically can, perhaps be detrimental to the quality of your website. Christopher is asking, how do I get exposure to my site once I have listings? So good news for you, Christopher. We have and let's see if I can switch my screen here. Okay. Good news for you is that after you're on board, you have access to a wealth of information, one of which is the 100 ways to market your directory. This marketing ebook is extremely powerful, and this is going to give you pretty much everything and anything that you might want to do from a marketing standpoint to get exposure for your website. So once you're on board, you'll have access to this, and you'll be able to read through this and get a lot of great ideas. Richard's asking, is the software complete with templates to build all of these ads along with the suggested style advice? Richard, you sound like an advertising salesperson talking about ads. So you have, there's really nothing to design, okay? The platform, and I'm gonna expose you to a little bit of the platform right now, okay? If I'm in a dashboard and I'm in the manage listing screen and I'm editing, let's say, this bakery listing, okay? It's all just a matter of copy pasting and uploading. There's no design work to do at all. So we're just filling in the blanks. If the client or the customer has a fax number, website, about us information, areas that they serve, you copy paste it. If they have images, upload them. If they have videos, you copy and paste the URL from Vimeo or YouTube and paste it in. Menus and attachments, as if they have like a food menu or a price sheet of some kind in a PDF format, upload it. There's nothing to design. Everything is all set. You're just plugging information into place. Let's see here. Larry is asking, how do you get more visitors to the site? Okay, we kind of just addressed that, talking about the ways to market your business directory website. What do you do in the beginning to launch the site and have advertisers on there? So when you're first getting the site off the ground, lots of people have actually gone so far as to pre-sell the site. So even before the site is launched, they'll go ahead, build excitement around it, and pre-sell advertisers to be featured on the site. It's a little bit trickier than having your logo and your domain name and everything all set up with listings on the site and ready to go, which is my preferred way to do it. But nothing is stopping you from selling listings the moment you launch the site or the moment you have an account with us. Because if business owners are basically buying you, they're being sold on you. What does your presentation look and sound like? Are you professional? Do you sound like you recognize and know the area? Do you understand local marketing, or can you at least speak a little bit of marketing language? Can you address their concerns that you're going to be working your butt off to get them as much exposure as possible? And if you can check those boxes, there's no reason why you can't sell listings on your site way before you get 10,000 visitors to your site. So don't rely on audience size or a ton of traffic to your site before you actually start selling. And that's actually a similar question just came in from Douglas. It seems to me like the success of these sites is the number of visitors we have on our sites daily. How do you answer that question, especially when you're just getting started? How do you get visitors to the site? So yeah, that's kind of like chicken before the egg kind of thing. You've got to populate your site with key information, including listings for businesses that folks might recognize. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize is that when you're adding content to your site in the form of business listings, especially businesses that are fairly well known in the area, you're adding content that's going to help your site get recognized by the search engines and start to actually help you start to drive traffic. But what's interesting too is that your proactive sales process is actually a form of marketing in itself. Think about how many times, for those of you folks who've done advertising sales before, have to try and get through a gatekeeper, right? At some of these businesses where you have to speak to someone before you get to the decision maker. By talking about your brand to the gatekeeper, guess what? They're a member of the community. They're a shopper locally. You're actually doing a form of marketing by doing sales. It's one of the little known and I think underserved aspects of the marketing and the sales process that really contribute to marketing. But as I said before, if you can, show your potential clients that you're committed to their success and giving them as much as exposure as possible, and showing them the site and how good their information looks. We also give you marketing material that talks about the benefits of having a directory listing, even on a site that literally gets zero traffic. Having an existence online is super important to the search engines regardless. Let's see. George is saying, is there a one-click option to upload the companies into the directory? Or do I have to manually add each company at the beginning? Great question, George. So I'm going to pick one of the cities and states that you guys gave to me in the beginning. Actually, let's see. Oh, George actually said he's from Boston. Boston, Boston, Boston. So check this out, guys, the prospecting tool. This is built into your dashboard. And I'm going to put in Boston right here, select it from the dropdown. And then since we were kind of talking about restaurants a little bit, I'm going to put in restaurant. If I can spell restaurant correctly, that'd be awesome, and click search. So now we have a nice long list of all the businesses in and around Boston that have something to do with restaurants. And right from here, I can, in fact, add these businesses to my site as listings. And it's as simple as choosing a business, putting them into the appropriate category, and then clicking create listing. And just like that, we've pulled in some information about the business and pre-populated a listing for them. We've got their address, phone number, website link, map with directions, hours of operation, social media connections, and payment methods they accept in this case. Now you can go in, click edit this listing, and populate the rest of the content for the listing. So we've done about 50 to 60% of the work for you. So yes, George, that is in fact included with the account. Cheryl is asking, or telling us, or asking and telling us, in my opinion, deals are not as good for the business owner as compared to actual best practices designed coupons. What do you recommend? I'm a little lost on what that question means, Cheryl. Deals are not as good for the business owner as compared to actual I might ask you to restate that because I don't know if I understand it. Richard's asking, what about offering 2 months free, then start auto billing? That, in my opinion, you're almost kind of asking for a lot of oversight, a lot of scrutiny by the business owner, because then it's like a ticking time bomb. Like, oh, okay, 2 months left, and oh, I better start to get some traffic and some hits from this, otherwise I'm going to cancel before it even starts. You don't kind of want that, put that much pressure on yourself. Especially in the beginning, it's probably best to sell them on the promise that you're going to work your tail off. And then if they find that they don't like the results of that over time, certainly they can cancel anytime. It's not like you're, obligating them to a 7-year contract. And we're talking about very reasonable, fair, low monthly fees here. So it's not like they're going to lose their shirt by advertising with you if they don't get a ton of response from your ad immediately. Travis wants to see how the claim listing feature works. The claim listing feature is extremely powerful. And this is what allows a business owner to actually take ownership of their listing. So lots of folks will add a bunch of listings to their site and then, market the heck out of it, try and push people to it and let people claim the listing themselves. So the process is really straightforward. The business owner will click claim this listing. They'll choose the plan that's right for them, click get started. This is just a demo site, so we don't have it here. But underneath each of these 3 plans will be 3 get started buttons. And then underneath, when you click that, you just go through the checkout process, and that's it. All the information that was on that listing is preserved, so the business owner can build upon it. Frank is asking how you get banner ads onto the directory. We have an article on this in our support section, which I'm going to push you toward. Support right from your dashboard. If I can just find it, where did I put it? Here it is. Right from your dashboard, you have a help and support link, and we have a banner ad section right here. And check that out. It walks you step by step through the process. Ishi is saying, can you use a mapping software to load all the information instead of one at a time? Hopefully you saw the local prospecting tool and felt that was sufficient. But Ishi, if you do have some sort of list pre-populated with a bunch of business information and you want to give that to us, we can import it into the site for you. No problem there. Larry is asking, can clients change their own directory listing? Of course, yes. That's kind of what this all kind of is based on. Their ability to go and make changes themselves. That keeps you out of it in terms of having to do the legwork there. These questions keep flowing in. I'm going to try and get through these as fast as I can. I promise. Richard's asking, are there sales materials such as leave behinds and postcards, etc.? Yeah, actually, you're looking at some of that stuff right now. We have a beautiful 4-page marketing brochure that opens up into 11 by 17. It's really nice. You can customize this. We have a sample sales scripts, even a press release template, sales flyers. All this stuff is given to you the moment you get started with us. Okay. Ronnie's asking, how large of an area is needed to be successful? Ronnie, there's really no rule to this. Lots of people think the larger the area, the better. I can't really agree with that per se. I've seen a lot of folks have a lot of success in areas as small as like 15,000 population. Even in a small market, not everyone knows all the businesses that exist there. They just don't. And if you can help shine the light on some of the lesser known businesses, you'd really be doing a huge service to those folks who are just struggling to, be seen. So there's really no minimum size of a market to be successful in. Obviously, if you, don't start a directory for like your street. I don't know how successful that might be, the street you live on, but the general area, any size really will work. Christopher's asking, do you only allow a certain amount of directory dealers in my area? Look, we don't like to pile people on top of each other, right? There's really no benefit there. And generally when someone comes on board, they ask, is there someone in my area already? And we'll let them know what the situation is. And if their area they feel is crowded, then they won't join. It's usually unlikely that someone gets into an area that someone is already actively servicing. So once you have your area, you shouldn't really be too concerned about people kind of, stomping on your turf. George is asking, should I contact my rep or just sign up on my own? Doesn't make a difference. All signups end up happening through our site anyway. So if we just go to idealdirectories.com, click on pricing and sign up, and you can choose the plan that you want and click get started now. Cheryl is clarifying her question from before, it seems. Okay, let's see if I can put 2 and 2 together. So you're referring to deals like sell a $20 deal for $8 and then the business owner receives half of the sale and they're out the cost of the food. Cheryl, this sounds like a Groupon business model. And if you've been watching how Groupon's been doing lately, I don't know if I go in that direction. What you're describing is a real challenge for a business owner to be profitable in. If they are going to do a $20 deal, sell it for $8, but only really collect about $4 on it, that's $16. Help me do the math, guys. That's a fifth of what they would normally get for a $20 sale. It's hard. It's really hard for a business owner to commit to that. Maybe if their average ticket price was 50 or 60 or $70, a deal like that might make sense. But then you have this issue with, Groupon shoppers, which are people who buy everything with Groupons and don't buy anything but things with Groupons. So the whole idea of Groupon was that, oh, well, you expose people to your brand and then they'll come back over and over and over again and pay full price. Not so good. Douglas is asking, any additional training once we sign up? Yeah, I mean, Douglas, this is one example of the things we do for our clients. You'll also be doing a one-on-one kickoff call with us when you sign up. We expose you to a lot of additional information once you're on board. Thumbs up, Ishi. Thumbs up. Becky asks, does the business owner know that customers are coming from, or does the business owner know that customers are coming from participating in the directory? So coming from the fact that they're participating in the directory. So yeah, anything that happens in terms of, let's see, anything on any of your listings that occurs, if it's a phone number, click, if it's a visit, if it's a view, if they're submitting a form, all this is tracked. And you can expose all of this to your clients at any point. So if they ever are in question about what is this site really doing for me, you can show them every granular statistic that you'd like to show them that in fact it is working for them. Furthermore, you can also be assured that when people submit, let's say the contact form, for example, it's going to say that a message has come in from, whatever it is, yourcitydeals.com. So that, you'll get credit for that communication. Okay, so Cheryl, you're in agreement with me that the whole Groupon thing is not the ideal scenario for what a business owner necessarily needs. So at least we're on the same page there. Russell has asked, what is the average number of businesses listed on a directory and the renewal percentage or the renewal rate? So it's tough to say. Everyone, depending on how you set your site up, Russell, if you do it with a best of concept, or if you do it with limited availability or open to everyone, that's going to play a huge role in the number of businesses listed on a directory site. However, I will say that when you're getting the site launched and you're starting to expose this to people, I would do a minimum of 30 listings. So these are listings that you're adding to the site yourself, fleshing out with all the details, and either for the purpose of doing the show and sell technique or showing to the competition and selling against it, leveraging the competition. So either way you choose to go about it, I would recommend getting a good 20, 30, 40 listings on the site as soon as you possibly can. It's going to offer you a lot of benefits in terms of credibility and make the site look really good. All right, we're going to try and answer about one, maybe two more questions. So whatever you've got posted right now, and then we will do that before we wrap up. Cheryl is, what was that, Cheryl? No, that was Frank. If they sign up with a coupon code, does that discounted rate go on forever? Yes, it does. The coupon code, and that's something that is really a technique in its own that I don't think that we perhaps put enough emphasis on. When you're signing people up at whatever price point, whether it's for full price on the plan or if it's at a discount, one of the things you can promise them is that their price for their plan will always stay the same. And what you're basically saying to them, look, as time goes on, this is going to be a very popular site and our prices are going to go up, and we'll be charging other businesses in your space a lot more than what we're charging today. But if you are willing to take the risk with going with us today, now, at this price point, I promise that you will get locked into this rate. and it will never go up even as our prices go up. So one thing I advise a lot of our clients on is that you always want to start your prices. If you're unsure where to do your pricing, start low and work your way up. Or start at the top, but use coupons in the beginning to lower the price as an incentive to start early. You're not going to regret getting your first 10, 30, 50 clients on board at a low rate, because it's going to help you establish yourself. It's going to bring in the recurring revenue. It's going to bring you to profitability, and it's going to make the site look really good, as well as get people talking about it. You're not going to regret, I'm not going to say give it away, but selling them at a lower rate than you will in the future. You're not going to regret that. And then, okay, a couple questions snuck in. I'll answer these and then cut you guys loose. Canon, how can the customers track the results that they are getting with their directory? So first of all, they'll be able to see in their own site's analytics that they're getting hits or links from the site you've created for them. If that's one thing. The second thing is when they log in, you can expose the statistics to them so they can view the stats when they're logged in to manage their listing. And that will also calculate things like tap to call, tap for directions, access to the map, things of that nature. Richard is asking me for clarification. He's saying that when you say build 40 ads or listings, do you mean pulling off the listings in the general directory that are basically fake customers? What I mean is that remember, we're doing show and sell. That was the first technique we went over, which means adding businesses to the site, fleshing out the listings with additional information like photos, menus, reviews, coupons, deals, events, etc., and making them look their best. Now, you don't have to keep those listings up forever. Obviously, if you showed up to the client and they say no, or I'm not sure, or whatever, you might try to pitch it to their competitor. And eventually, if they are not responsive or say no, you'll probably take them offline. But to get the site up and going and making it look sharp, yeah, 20, 30, 40 listings is a good number. Last question is credit card payments. How is that handled? So yeah, so right through the site, you can collect credit card payments from your customers. It's a very simple one-click integration with the payment processor called Stripe. And then all your payments for Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, I'm pretty sure, are all handled through them, deposited to your bank automatically. And it's a very straightforward, easy process. All right, with that, I see a couple others coming in. You can certainly write us, sales@idealdirectories.com, or talk to your account rep. We'll be happy to get any further questions answered. Of course, if you are ready to join us, you're more than welcome to. Those of you who are already on board, thank you so much. We really appreciate your business and being a part of the Ideal Directories family. We wish you all a very happy rest of the day, happy rest of the week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you all later. Thanks so much.